When the pandemic hit and workplaces closed nationwide, many of us asked, wait, how am I going to get my job done from home? I'm Tamron Hall. This is Reshuffle. For Maria Barrios of San Diego, the answer was complicated. She had a first grader, now home from school, and a newborn baby. Maria works for the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals and saw herself promoted while working entirely remotely. As we'll see in this episode, Maria discovered there were many professional and personal positives about working from home. She then learned her company would be embracing a hybrid model. Now, Maria is reshuffling her schedule and, like many working parents, is wondering, how am I ever going to go back to the office? Are we excited or worried about returning to our workplace? Just like Maria, many of us are wondering, is hybrid for me?
When I first learned that we would be working remote, it was about a couple days before the stay-at-home order was actually in place. At NAREP, we adapted quickly. I didn't feel much anxiety as far as work is concerned. So I would say the anxiety was felt more so as a mom.
So you're not gonna ask me for help?
Probably. At the beginning of the pandemic, you thought, I'm going to have so much time to do so many things, and that was not the case, especially when they introduced virtual learning. Just teaching him little things like an iPad, they had to learn how to use the iPad for school assignments. It was very challenging to adjust and teach a child how to prepare for a Zoom call while also a learning curve for myself. I don't know how to do Common Core math. And in order for me to learn and be able to teach, I had to find time to sometimes also sit in on the Zooms and the lesson and say, okay, I need to listen so that I know how to help him later on in the day. Throughout the entire time, though, I will say his assignments weren't able to be done during the school day as they normally would be. It was once my partner and I were home and out of work, and we were able to dedicate time to the schoolwork at the end of the day. The balance and trying to make sure that he was successful, because if I fell behind there, then he would struggle next year, and it was because I wasn't able to help him the way that I should have. I would wake up at 5, 6 in the morning, work for 3-4 hours, and then we start our day around 9. Jump onto his schoolwork. Grandma comes down, I go up to work and kind of switch back and forth. And I was working either on schoolwork or my work from 6 a.m. until 9 p.m. So it was just a very long day. There were a lot of positives getting to work remote and spending time with the kids. Before the pandemic, I was ID'd when I would pick my son up from school because they didn't know who I was. Now they know who I am. I got to know the staff at his school. I was able to see my daughter learn how to crawl, learn how to walk. My biggest supporters were my partner, my mom, and my dad. Multi-generational living has been a game changer for our family in that my kids always have someone.
According to McKinsey & Company, when the schools shut down and our children were sent home, there was a significant disparity between parents of kids under 10. The rate at which women in this group were considering leaving the workforce was 10 percentage points higher than men. Later in September 2020, when schools continued with remote learning, 80% of the 1.1 million people who exited the workforce were women. For those working moms who managed to stay afloat, it took tenacity, invention, and family support to carve out a workday while juggling remote learning and keeping the kids fed. Now, with offices opening back up on a hybrid schedule, many working parents feel like they have to reinvent the wheel all over.
Working from home has been great, but I do miss the office environment. I think like so many people out there, you're torn between enjoying the perks of working from home, but then also you miss the collaboration, you miss the face-to-face interaction and the meetings that you get to have with people. Now that I'm getting ready to head into the office, I have to make arrangements for lots of things. I have, thankfully, a lot of family support. I think people are going to be nervous, cautious. They don't know what to expect. The uncertainty, do I hug? Do I fist pump? Do I not touch? Okay, let me give you an air hug. How close do you want me to get to you? I think that's where the uncertainty comes in. And I think anxious will definitely be the emotion that most feel on the first week back to the office.
All right, can I get your attention, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to our welcome back meal celebration. And without further ado, let's have our HR manager, Marty Becerra, come on up.
We do have a sanitation protocol in the office. Please do not ask people what their vaccination status is. I would appreciate that. That would
shoot.
Sorry, Gary.
I thought this would be a better way to kind of kick things off than just getting in the office. Let's come together, let's break some bread, let's have some laughs, and let's just reacquaint ourselves to one another.
The luncheon was great. Everybody seemed very excited to be together again. It actually eased any sort of nerves about our staff because they were so excited and so focused on connecting again. Driving back to the office and having it full of staff is going to be surreal and exciting, so I feel hopeful.
As Americans reflect on the COVID-19 health crisis, businesses have a unique opportunity to learn from the challenges of last year. As companies create new policies and reimagine the life-work balance, it's key we remember there's no one way to do hybrid.
I think the hybrid will allow people to come in at their own pace. I think many people, along with myself, sometimes felt isolated at home. All I hear is kids or Zoom calls. It'll be nice to not be on Zoom calls all day and be able to go into a conference room and actually meet. I feel that you just become so accustomed to seeing everyone every day that you don't take the time to stop and pause what you're doing to really connect with them. Now I'm going to be able to continue building those relationships face to face. I think that the country right now, most people are feeling optimistic, seeing things open back up, such as games, public areas, the movie theaters, and people are getting recalled back to their jobs that they were furloughed from, and that provides hope.
Across every city, county, and town in this nation, the pandemic reminded us we have to take care of one another. New models of the hybrid office could do just that, giving all workers the freedom and flexibility to shine. This is Reshuffle.